Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we'll be covering several important developments in the crypto markets. So we have the Mara's updated treasury strategy, the new political pressure surrounding the Genius and Clarity Acts, the unusually low interest in altcoins, and finally Bitcoin's approach towards a key resistance level and what it could mean next. So it's a pretty packed video, and each of these pieces connects to the larger market structure we are looking at. So make sure you stay with me through the full breakdown. So to kick things off, we're going to have a look at the Mara 10K report. So the company noted an expansion of its treasury management strategy. In simple terms, they may periodically buy or sell Bitcoin depending on market conditions and capital allocation priorities. So it's nothing too dramatic, but it's still meaningful, and it reinforces the trend of publicly traded mining companies treating Bitcoin as a flexible treasury rather than a long-term holding. So let's take a look on what Mara tweeted today. So as you can see, this insertion that Mara has changed its strategy to sell the majority of our Bitcoin holdings is factually incorrect. And pretty much this is quite a fast response, and it is important that it was so fast, as it puts the shareholders kind of like, to ease, to, no, it's okay, like none of this is actually happening. And as you can see in the tweet by Jacob King, it said the largest publicly traded Bitcoin miner, Mara Holdings, is planning to sell the majority of its Bitcoin reserves. I'm not too sure if it's fake news, false source, or what this is. But Mara were quickly, obviously, to put things right and say how it is. And to be holding 53,000, nearly 54,000 Bitcoin is pretty crazy. So as you can see, the roughly value is 4.7 billion on recent valuations. But that is crazy. And then next we will be taking a look at the Trump on Genius Act. And he stated that banks are attempting to undermine the legislation and emphasized that the market structure reform needs to be completed as soon as possible. And his broader message was that without the Clarity Act, United States risks losing major portions of the crypto industry to countries like China. Whether one agrees or disagrees with the rhetoric, the important takeaway is that the crypto policy remains a central topic, and the administration clearly wants to put the position of the US as a global leader. So let's take a little look. The Genius Act is being threatened and undermined by the banks, and that is unacceptable. We are not going to allow it. He then goes on to say that he is putting the American people first, and Americans should earn money on their money. Pretty much he is obviously looking to do what is best for him and his country. And another interesting data point would be the level of discussion around the Altseason, and it is at a historic low. So historically, when sentiment is this quiet, markets often begin trending upward, and it's not a signal or a guarantee, but there's almost no hype. But larger players tend to accumulate, so it is worth keeping an eye on in the future, just in case something does start to happen. And here we have the sentiment tweet: thinking about an Altseason right about now, neither is anyone else. Historically, however, moments like this, when social volume towards altcoin interest is at extreme lows, are around the time that rallies begin. So there is a suggestion of what could happen. So realistically, there could be a chance that these players start accumulating and something could change. As I said, it's worth keeping an eye on, but obviously I will keep you guys updated on what is going to happen in the upcoming days. Now let's talk Bitcoin. I recently highlighted a liquidity zone that price could sweep, and that is exactly what we saw. From that level, Bitcoin moved upward toward the upper liquidity zones. So today, the price is approaching a boundary of the long-term channel around 70 to 72k. So today it has moved up pretty high, and currently is sitting at 71,383. So there are two scenarios that this could go: the bullish scenario and the bearish scenario. So firstly, let's take a look at the bullish scenario. Pretty much if Bitcoin holds above this area and gives us the retest, then the next expansion could realistically reach the 79 to 82k zone, which, as you can see, is marked here. Whereas the bearish scenario would be that if price rejects here, the price is rejecting, then if it falls back into the channel, then this would be a sign of a weakness. In that case, the lower part of the range becomes the target again, and this is where a significant amount of liquidity still remains, as you can see. So to summarize, Mara continues adjusting its treasury approach. Political pressure around crypto regulation is increasing. Altcoin discussions are at an unusually low level, and Bitcoin is approaching a critical point in its long-term structure. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you expect a breakout or a rejection at the current level? If you found this analysis useful, feel free to like the video and subscribe for more updates. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.